Hello. What's up? Hope you're having an awesome day. I wanted to quickly talk about The Crew. Just real quick, right now it's free on PC, and some people may be passing this game by, they might be ignoring it or whatever. And I wanted to talk about what I love about it and what kept me from playing it more often. Should keep this short, I don't know. But I wanted to talk to it. It is a good game. I do think it's a great game. I do recommend it all the time, but I also always try to make it clear to people that, to me, when I play The Crew, it's more about exploration and driving than it is about racing. So the problem with that, I think, for me on my end, it's the problem with the racing thing is the racing, if you want to do like regular races where you race against opponents, it seems like the game relies heavily on online servers for that. So, I mean, I haven't really tried it too much on my PS4 to get online, but that's on top of, this is a game where you kind of level up. It is very much like an MMORPG in customization and upgrades and kind of a leveling system to the game. There's a level system. Part of the leveling system is your perks, your like talents, little extra things you can get, little extra perks in the talent tree, which is cool. And the other leveling system is your upgrades through gear that you upgrade by doing challenges in the game. So the problem with that is sometimes you might, like, if you want to just stick to the story, I don't think it's possible to stick to the main campaign story races without having to stop and sidetrack and upgrade your car. So that kind of sucks. If you just want to stick to the story, stick to the main races, I'm pretty sure you'll reach a point. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe changes have happened and updates have changed it since when I first leveled up. But from my experience, I mean, the game's old now. There might have been updates that changed it, but from my experience, going from race to like campaign race, even now, actually, I'm not even max level. I think even now, on my second playthrough, now I'm playing on PS4. I originally played through it on a PC, but there are races you can't do without upgrading your car. So you're stuck doing like a little bit of grinding. It's still driving, but you have to do things that maybe if you're in the mood just to do the story race, sorry, now you're stuck in a spot where you have to go level up your car. It's not hard. It's really simple, especially with the way the map works. It's really cool. You can filter it by showing challenges, so you can just know where all the challenges are, as long as you've like unlocked a satellite in the area or whatever. Satellites are kind of like towers in Far Cry or Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs, where once you get to the satellite, you drive to the satellite and then you open up challenges and little levels that you didn't have unlocked before or whatever. So that can suck a little bit if you want to just do story missions only. Like, I'm pretty sure you'll always, at some point, not every time, you won't need to level up every time, every story mission. You probably do 3 to 4 in a row without having an upgrade, but then you'll get to one where you have to upgrade. So you have to go do little side things. So for me, The Crew is more about exploration and driving than it is racing, because it seems like, I mean, you get races in the main campaign, but the races also change up. They add a little diversity, and there's the takedown missions. We have to chase down an opponent car and smash his car to pieces, and within a time limit to win the race. Other stuff where you destroy objects. There's different kinds of races. So when you play through even the main campaign missions, they're not all going to be just direct like races versus opponents. There are those races too. But yeah, so that's, for me, from my experience in playing The Crew, it's more about driving, doing challenges. You can also play with your friends. You can challenge your friends. But all the like normal races against opponents, pretty much, if you want to do that, you do it every few. It happens a lot in the campaign, but it's either play the main campaign or play online, which kind of sucks because you can't like redo certain races. Like, I mean, you could redo campaign races and stuff. It's the same thing, but it's just not a racing focused game in my opinion. It's more about driving and exploring the world. And of course, there are races in it. It's really cool. But when you play the game, I think it's better to go at it with an attitude of you want to explore and you just want to drive around. Because if that's the kind of game you want to play, it's perfect for you. It's perfect. If you just want to drive around and explore, you can drive anywhere. It's freaking awesome. This is, of course, the game is based in the United States of America, but there are some beautiful places. Once you reach a spot in the game, you can always fast travel anywhere. And like, as you move from area to area, you open up like a radius around you on the map. So it's not like you have to be like to every little tiny dot on the map. You could trick your way through the game by, like, if once you reach a certain point, you open up the map a little more. You can fast travel over, and just continuously like open up more and more of the map at a time instead of driving it. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you could do that. There's also airports that once you drive to an airport, it can fast travel you across the country. So if you don't feel like driving an hour and a half or an hour or whatever to get across from like New York to California, if you don't want to drive that far, there are airports that you drive to, and then they take you over there. When I first played this game in the beta, I drove from New York to California in the beta. I was like, I'm gonna do that because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see how the open world was. Like, if you could actually drive anywhere, you can. Oh yeah, you can. Of course, you do want the car specs for it. You know, if you're driving off-road, you want an off-road spec car. Otherwise, it's not gonna be as fun. Off-road spec cars are a blast off-road, driving through trees and everything. But anyways, yeah, I think that was the main thing I just wanted to talk about and let you know. If you still haven't tried the Crew, I mean, it's been free on PS Plus, it's been free on Xbox Live Gold, and now it's free on PC for the month of September, I believe. Yeah, so it'll be ending soon. I haven't really paid attention what days they end on and stuff. This is free for a month, so you know, I mean, you have plenty of time to pick those games up for free. But yeah, if you still kind of just been pushing it off because you've heard bad reviews or whatever, you didn't like what you saw. If you want to just drive and explore, there is races in it. There's racing and it's fun and it's cool. But if you want to just drive and explore, it's really great for that. It is. It's super cool. There's plenty of challenges. Like there's a lot of content. Most of it is just challenges though. Like, you know, follow a race line, smash through little barricades or whatever. There's all kinds of challenges, lots. There's like probably almost an infinite amount of challenges in the game. But again, it's more about driving than racing. All the challenges, there's no races and challenges. There might be like a time trial-ish kind of a thing when you follow the line. You're beating other people. You're beating your friends on your Uplay list. You know, they got the worldwide leaderboards and stuff. So you're racing the clock in the challenges more than you are racing like actual opponents, which is my preference. You know, when I want to race opponents. I don't want to get stuck doing drift trials or time trials. I want to race freaking opponents, man. But yeah, so the Crew is a great driving game. It's really good, and I wanted to make this video. I've talked about it before, but I never made a video about the Crew. And while it's free, I wanted to get this out there and say, look, yeah, it's a good game if that's what you want. If you want strictly racing, the Crew's not it. It has racing in it. Another thing about it, though, that I thought about too, and I'll say this real quick because I forgot about it. I meant to mention it and I didn't. The online racing requirement, basically focusing on online racing, I'm not sure how the matchmaking works. So I don't know if they're matching like level. I think they do. I'm not sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure I've seen, like, I've been a low level car. I've done a couple online races in the past, and I'd be like a low level car versus higher level cars. So that's another thing where I'm not exactly sure how well the matchmaking works. Is if like there's not enough players, they'll put a lower player with a higher player or what. So there's that issue if you think about it. Maybe if somebody knows like more about it, you could look that up online. I didn't care too much to review about it. It's just I'd talk about games through my experience, not about what I read. So I'm all bad. I could have looked that up. It wasn't important to me. I just thought I'd mention it real quick, you know. So if it's important to you, you can check it out. Look online, you know, whatever. And oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video. This is not my gameplay in the video here. This is just me. Got a channel open on YouTube of Throneful. But yeah, alright, so anyways, the Crew is a good game. It is really cool. Good for driving, good for you know, just exploration and driving is really cool. It's nice stuff. The world is enormous. It's probably the biggest racing game ever to exist right now. That's my guess. I don't think even Forza Horizon 3 is going to be like half as big as the Crew. So that's the thing about the Crew. It's a big showcase as far as like how large the world is, where you can drive, what you can do. It's more about driving than racing. It's a cool game though. You should definitely check it out. Thanks for coming by and watching the video, and I will hopefully see you guys around. Bye.